Okay, so we were discussing some lessons yesterday about what is real compassion, that spiritual life is a razor's edge, the 4 hours that lead to fall down, and Maya is very powerful. So, the fifth lesson we will cover today, the 4 things you can do to give up temptation. We have heard from Keshav Swami Maharaj, the cost of temptation, where C stands for conviction. And what it means is that to be convinced about the big goal that we are trying to achieve in life, Krishna Prem, going back home, back to Godhead, and being convinced that this material world is a nasty place, it's a place of suffering, and that material sense gratification equals misery. So, Maharaj was saying that when temptation comes to hit the snooze button to get up in the morning, we should be convinced, we should be intellectually convinced that no, I have to get up and chant and attain Krishna Prem, and become a pure devotee in this lifetime. So, to get this intellectual conviction, we have to read Srila Prabhupada's books every day. Prabhupada writes in Chaitanya Charitamrita in one purport that all the devotees connected with Krishna conscious movement should read all the books that have been translated, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and others. Otherwise, after some time, they will simply eat, sleep, and fall down from their position. So they will miss the opportunity to attain an eternal blissful life of transcendental pleasure. So that is conviction. And O stands for open to discuss with spiritually advanced devotees. So we should have at least one devotee with whom we can share our realizations and the problems that we are facing in spiritual life, or our personal matters that are bothering us, and we can be honest and truthful with that devotee. So the problem with Bharata Maharaj was that he did not have any devotees around him. Otherwise, devotees would have told Bharata Maharaj that, "Oh Prabhu, you are in Maya, that, why didn't you come to Japa today, Bhagavatam class today, you're spending too much time with your dear." Like that, devotees would have warned Bharat Maharaj. So, we need to be in the association of devotees. So, I have a question to the audience as to what does association of devotees mean? Like, how has the association of devotees affected you in the spiritual life, and what are the benefits you are seeing with having devotees in your life? And you can say it in few words. So I'm going to ask that question. Anybody wants to say, how has devotee association affected their life?
So Hare Krishna Mataji, I can start. So for me, being part of this group has helped me a lot in terms of focusing on the Japa Mala, then reading Bhagavatam and joining groups where we can do any bhakti. Like we meet to read the Leela Amrita also with a small group. So any association we can get, I think it's a big push or a motivation, I see.
Thank you, Prabhu. Anybody else?
Hare Krishna Mataji. It's helped me a lot too. I look forward to this class in the morning, evening classes. Um, I will be lost without this association with devotees.
Thank you,
Thank you
Mata.
very much, Loss.
Okay, so association of devotees means that we share realizations. We talk about Krishna with them. And we do 6 loving exchanges, as Rupa Goswami says in Nectar of Instruction, Dadati Pratagranati Ghuyamakiti Prachiti Bhunkte Bhajate Cheva Sadvidhi Priti Lakshanam. We are sharing gifts with each other. We are sharing confidentially some information and getting help from others in those matters. And we are sharing prasad. Association also means accountability, that we share our sadhana card with a senior devotee. So we are accountable to somebody, and if we don't show up, then they will ask questions. Why didn't you do this? Or and we consult with devotees if we have to take important decisions in our life. Then we get some thoughts from other devotees what they think about it. Association also means encouraging one another to do more, and having faith in others, and doing things that they develop faith in us. And everybody wants to love and be loved. That is a natural tendency that we have. And if we have loving relationship with the devotees, then we won't seek outside association with materialistic people. And what are we looking for in association? There are three things that we are looking for in the devotees that we associate with: Sajatiya, Snigdasya, and Ashraya. Sajatiya means they should be like minded. We should have the same goal that we are trying to achieve. Snigdasya means they should have affection for you. And Ashraya means they should be more advanced than you, so that they can help you, grow. So we can choose our association based on these three things. And Prabhupada created this ISKCON society so that we have association of like-minded individuals. Prabhupada said that if you think you can be Krishna conscious by yourself, you are insane. And so Kali Yuga means Sankirtan, means we get together and we glorify Krishna and we chant Krishna's name. We are not like Haridas Thakur, where we can live in seclusion and all day chant our rounds. Like one disciple of Prabhupada said that I want to be like that, and I'm going to chant 192 rounds every day by myself. And so after some days, he just disappeared. Nobody saw him where he went. So like that. So Prabhupada does not recommend that we do our sadhana in seclusion. And so we should be praying to get association of pure and sincere devotees in our life. And we can see so many advanced devotees in Srimad Bhagavatam. Their prayer is, please give me association of serious devotees. Okay, so that was C, and O, and S stands for safe situations. Safety means we try to protect ourselves and we don't go in situations that are tempting. We don't place ourselves in environments that will agitate us. So if we are trying to give up alcohol, for example, we will not go to shops that sell alcohol, or we don't go around those individuals that will again fuel some material desires within our heart. So we try to protect ourselves in that way, being in safe situations. And T stands for higher taste. So we should find taste, and with getting that higher taste, we automatically able to give up the insignificant taste of material enjoyment. So avyartha kalatvam, a devotee should not be. But then he said, it's not like I don't have lust, I don't have time for lust. So he was meaning to say that you become so absorbed in your services that you don't have time for any of the material activities. Like Jayananda Prabhu, who started the Rath Yatra cart, who helped Prabhupada start that. Somebody asked him, how did you become so advanced? He said, I really don't know. I'm too busy to think about it. So being busy in service to Krishna. Because free time is not luxury, it is danger. We say empty mind is devil's free time. We should absorb ourselves in services that give us, that we feel nice in. And so if we are able to strengthen ourselves in these four areas, being convinced and being open to discuss with devotees, being in the safe situations and developing a higher taste, then we'll be able to give up temptations. Comments on this lesson? Okay, so I'll move on to the next one. So the last thought before you die. So whoever or whatever we are attached to, that person or that thing we will remember at the time of death. Like we have the story of this businessman who was he always was thinking about his shop all the time, how I can make profit and what to do with my shop, etc. So at his deathbed, all his family members came and he was asking, oh, where is my son? The son was like, I'm here, father. Where is my daughter? Where is my wife? Where are my grandchildren? And they all said, we are all here. Then he shouted, so if you're all here, then who is at the shop? So, so this is what happens to somebody who's attached to material things. So those thoughts will come to them at the last moments. So, and then Prabhupada says that you may be attached to your big house or shop like this, but you may, if you are sinful, then you may just return as a cockroach in that shop or in that house. Like we have the story of Narad Muni and Kailash. So Narad Muni used to visit his this person Kailash and would tell him, Kailash, you come with me. I'm going to Vaikuntha. I will take you along with me. So this Kailash said, oh, sorry, I cannot come right now because my children are young. Once they grow up, I will come. So come later. So then, after many years, Narad Muni came back and says, Kailash, are you ready now? Let's go back. Let's go to Vaikuntha. He says, no, no, no. I have grandsons now that I have to take care of them. So, they need my help. So come later. So Narad Muni then returned after many years, and he found out that Kailash had passed away. So he was very sorry, and he was thinking, oh, where would have Kailash gone? So then he was leaving the house, and he saw a dog that was barking. So this dog said, "Oh Naradji, this is Kailash here. I have become." Narad said, "Oh Kailash, you have become a dog now." Uh, so this Kailash was like, oh, actually, my sons are very careless with wealth, and I've become a dog to protect that wealth from thieves. So Narad Muni felt very sorry for Kailash and said, Kailash, you still there is time. It's not too late. You come along with me. He said, no, no, no. I have to guard the house. So Narad Muni returned, and then after many years, he came back again, and he saw that this dog has passed away. So Narad Muni was thinking, oh my God, now where Kailash would have gone. So as he was leaving, this there was a snake that was hissing, and the snake was saying to Narad Muni that Naradji, I'm Kailash here. Narad asked, oh my God, Kailash, you have taken a snake body now. Don't you want to come with me now? Even now, it's not too late. So the snake replied that, oh, actually, I'm very happy that now my sons have put all the money in the bank, but they're very lazy. They don't wake up early in the morning. So all these neighbors come and they steal our grains from this field, and elephants come to destroy the field. So I've become a snake to protect the field. I'm very busy. I cannot come with you. So Narad Muni was very shocked about this. So what he did was he clapped his hands, and he called the sons of Kailash and showed them that there was a snake in their field. So immediately all the sons of Kailash started hitting the snake with the sticks, and this snake was telling while he was hissing that, oh, don't hit me, I'm your father, I'm trying to help you. But nobody understood what the snake was saying. So while dying, the snake, he became detached, and he remembered Narad Muni, and so in his next life he became a great devotee. So I mean, this story Prabhupada tells, so we can see that if we are attached to something in this material world, we might just return as a dog or a snake or a rat or a cockroach, being attached to people and things of this world. So instead, we should be attached to Krishna. Like we have the story of Ajamil, how Ajamil, he had so much love for his son Narayan that whether Ajamil was eating or sleeping, he would call out to his son Narayan, Narayan, come here and eat with me, and come here and sleep with me. So he was so much absorbed in his loving of emotions for his child that at the time of death, when Yamadutas came, seeing the horrible faces of the Yamadutas, he became so fearful and anxiety, he called out to his son Narayan. Unfortunately, we know that his son's name was Narayan. But this son, who was a small boy, he did not understand the condition of his father, who loved him so much. See, the boy's intelligence was not that developed that he could understand what his father's needs were. He couldn't understand the emotions of his father. Like we see here, the deer could not understand the emotions of Bharat Maharaj. Bharat felt a lot of anxiety that deer has gone somewhere, but the deer didn't care. He ran into the forest. So like that, this Ajamil's son, when Ajamil was going at his time of death, he called out to his son. This son was playing with the toys and the father was dying. But who listened to his prayers, who understood his emotions, was Lord Narayan. Lord Narayan understood the emotions of Ajamil because Ajamil had chanted the four syllables Narayana. The Lord sent four Vishnu Dutas to protect Ajamil. There's also a pastime of Pururava in the ninth canto. We see Pururava, he became infatuated with Urvashi. Urvashi was coming from celestial planets, and Pururava was living on Earth. So, by some arrangement or some conflict happened that this Urvashi left him. But Pururava became so crazy after her, and he was searching for her, begging and pleading her to come back. So she even had to counsel him that, oh, Pururava, you are a great, emperor. You're supposed to set example for all your citizens. You're running behind a woman like this. Um, uh, but that didn't help him, and he was so obsessed. He did yagyas. He did worshipping of the Gandharva. Somehow he could get Urvashi back, but finally he was frustrated in his attempts. So he spoke this song of detachment called Aila Geet in. So we can see here that the conditioned souls, they invest their love and affection on so many people who are undeserving of their love, who may not have the intention or the ability to reciprocate with their love. So we should understand that who loves us the most in the entire cosmos? Krishna. Krishna is the one who loves us the most. And he stays as Paramatma in our heart and travels with us wherever we go. Even if we take birth in very abominable species like become a worm in the stool or ant or snake, Krishna does not leave the soul. His love is like millions of mothers combined. So even if we say that, our family members, our friends, they love us, but that love is restricted only to one lifetime. And within one lifetime also there's a lot of conflicts and issues in the relationships. But Chaitanya Charitamrita says what is real love. The definition of real love, Chaitanya Charitamrita says, is that even if there is every reason to break the relationship does not break. That is real love. So, like generally, if others act against our interest, act against our expectations, we feel like breaking the relationship. Like, I cannot continue in a relationship with you. You behaved like that. You behaved like that we say, right? But millions of times we have acted against Krishna's will. But Krishna does not break his relationship with us. Krishna wants to continue the relationship with us no matter what. So that is what it means to really love us. And that's what Krishna does. So there is no one like Krishna, no other form of love superior to what Krishna has for us. Like Prabhupada says that there is no love in this world, it is lust only. So what we say love is actually the attachment to the physical form or the other person, or being attracted to their opulence or some material things like money that they have. So that is what people say as love in this material world, but it's all based on selfish considerations. But Krishna's love for us is selfless. Krishna even loved Kubja or Shabri, who were not beautiful at all. Krishna loved Sudama, who was very poor. Krishna embraced Vasudev leper, who had worms all over his body. So Krishna's love is not based on any material standards. So we should be kind, but yeah, so we should be kind and compassionate and have affection for everybody, but not at the cost of ignoring our relationship with Krishna. We should see everybody as part and parcel, as a child of Krishna. In that way we can love their soul. On a spiritual level we should have affection for everybody, but also not at the cost of ignoring our relationship with Krishna. We should keep Krishna in the center of all our relationships, and then they become spiritual relationships. And if we take Krishna out, then all these relationships become at the bodily platform, and ultimately they will give us frustration only. So, what will come to our mind at the time of death is what is there deep down within our heart. Prabhupada says, Bhajan kar, sadhan kar, marte jaan lo hoy. That your devotional service will be tested at the time of death. Do not chant Hare Krishna like a parrot. And parrot can be trained to chant Hare Krishna, it will chant. But when it is grabbed at the throat, what does it say? Cow, cow. It will not remember Krishna. So we should not chant like a parrot, but we should chant with feelings. Prabhupada says we should practice to chant so that death comes. We should practice so that when the death comes, we will be able to chant Hare Krishna. And that the chanting should not be lip deep, but it should be heart deep. That we should chant with our heart prayerfully, crying out to Krishna, chanting with feelings, because Krishna is the one who loves us the most. So we should think like that, that I'm with Krishna, the person who loves me the most. So and chanting is like a genuine cry of the child for mother, Prabhupada says. So we can have prayer, like this prayer is there. Prema dhan vina vyartha daridra jivan das kori vetan more deho prema dhan. Without love for you, Krishna, my life is useless. Therefore, I pray that you accept me as your servant. And in return, all I want is this salary of pure ecstatic love for you. That's all I want. I don't want anything else. So, so this picture is there. I came across this picture where somebody is saying that, "Am I your first priority?" And this person saying, "Yes, darling," but he has other relationships. So it says that the person whom you love the most may break your heart or leave you one day, but Krishna will never. He loves you till your last breath. Says loves you till your last breath, but that's eternal. He loves us eternally in whatever wherever we go. So, anybody has any comments on this lesson?
So somebody may ask, like, right, that how do we experience Krishna's love? Because love of my friend or my family, I can experience, right? But how do I experience Krishna's love? So, what would you say about that?
Yeah, I would say that we need to understand like every moment. I was saying yesterday that in this world there is danger at every step. Anytime anything can happen. But the first thing is we need to understand what we have been given by Krishna, that nobody else can give us. This human body is a gift from Krishna, a healthy human body, and on top of that, getting the association of devotees, chanting, being able to chant Hare Krishna, given scriptures, and we have the proper intelligence to read scriptures. I mean, these are certain gifts that once something happens to our human body, it's irreplaceable. Nobody can give us those gifts that Krishna has given us. Like Amarendra Prabhu was saying, right? The wife gets a gift from the husband, a nose ring, and she's showing it off to others, right? So that's like she can feel that reciprocation from the husband, but does she understand that who gave her the nose on which she's putting her the nose ring, or the ring in the finger? Who gave her the fingers? So we need to contemplate and understand that what we have been given, although we cannot see Krishna in front of us because we didn't want to see him in the first place, and that's why we are here in the material world. But Krishna never left us. He's giving us everything. He's giving us the breath of every breath that we are taking is a mercy from Krishna.
So, one thing some person may say, well, those who are not believing in Krishna also are getting all those things, right? Those who are atheist.
Mm. Yes,
So,
because
what
they're
do you
all
say?
Krishna's children. So Krishna, like we said, Krishna never leaves any jiva, even if the jiva wants to don't see the face of Krishna and wants to do his own thing and he offends Krishna. But that's the love of Krishna that we should be so amazed that even Krishna is helping the atheists.
So many times we think like this is take it for granted, right? That this human life is there, and our nose is there automatically. It is there, but you are saying that somebody has given it to you. It is not come about automatically. Sometimes
Yeah,
people say,
because yes, because there's so many people who don't have the things that you have, and you can see that. So many people, as we discussed, are in the hospital. They're on the, they're suffering with some issue. So we are healthy here, sitting and reading Bhagavatam. So
But devotees also go to the hospital. I mean, they are also
Yes, yes,
hospitalized, right? So how do you see
yes.
them? Like everybody else, they also go through the same struggles.
Yeah, but they don't suffer in that situation. That Krishna also protects them. Devotee thinks that I was bound to suffer much more because of my previous karma, but Krishna has saved me, and this is for my purification because there are some anarthas lingering within me. That's why I've been given this condition, but it is out of mercy from Krishna, who's like my mother, who's trying to treat me with this disease that I have, and this little suffering is going to purify me and bring me closer. So that is the consciousness of devotees.
So that somebody may say you are just adjusting your mind like that, right? To say, okay, but you don't want the suffering. Ultimately, you don't want the suffering, but you are trying to get rid of the suffering. But so like if you get cancer, like devotees also get cancer and so many things, and they have to also go through chemotherapy, like everybody else, other who are not, we can say, devotees. So they also
Mhm.
don't want that suffering, right? The devotees also don't want that suffering.
Yeah, but we chose suffering because we chose to come to this material world. That was our own free will. So we signed up for that suffering. But even in that suffering, the words of Krishna and the devotional service, the process of Krishna consciousness is protecting us from suffering. Like we say, there is misery. Misery is mandatory in this material world. Whoever has come to this material world will have to go through miseries of birth, death, old age, and disease. But for devotees, they don't suffer it, right? What is that verse that third canto Kapil Dev says? Prasang, there is
Madhasya
that
kathamishtam.
mad ashya katha mishtam
Pibanti.
kathayanti tapanti vividastapa naitan madgata chetasa, right? So engage constantly in chanting and hearing about Krishna. The sadhus will not suffer from material miseries because they're always thinking about Krishna.
So devotee has to be in that level, right? To say, feel that, okay, I'm not suffering. I'm actually, this is Krishna's mercy. I'm getting. So,
Mm.
no, normal, ordinary people or ordinary devotees, they would feel like, yeah, this is, I don't want this suffering, this suffering has come in my life. But one has to be on very, like that platform, like where you accept that, yeah, this is actually Krishna's mercy.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes. So how we can do that is more we sweat during peace, less we will bleed during war. So every day, now that if it is a normal situation for us, we need to be very serious in our sadhana and preparing ourselves for a situation where there would be some difficulty in our life, that we don't lose faith in Krishna at that point, and correct thoughts come in our mind so we don't feel that suffering, and keep on doing our bhajan, our sadhana eh, at that time. So we are preparing for that war situation. So in normal situation we should be very serious, strict, serious, and sincere in our sadhana.
but I'm not finding that much taste in this. If I'm in normal situation, I'm supposed to enjoy life, right? I'm finding so much happiness in like going on vacation and going to a restaurant and enjoying myself. So in a normal situation, how can I like
Mm.
just be like you're saying, just do something that is giving me not so much happiness and not really like the pleasure. So
Yeah. So, I mean, everybody has some practical experience of suffering in this material world. So they should remember that that suffering happened before and it can happen at any time. That this is a dangerous place. That happens through conviction. The sea we were discussing in the previous slide. We should be convinced that this material world is a place of suffering, and that happens when we are reading this books of Prabhupada every single day. Then we become philosophically convinced about the nature of this material world. being in the association devotees. So every day we have to do that. So and also seeing the suffering, what others are going through, and what scriptures are telling us, and what we went through, and we learn from our mistakes. So sometimes when we go through suffering, we come in the correct attitude. Krishna, you protected me. Thank you so much. I feel grateful. But then afterwards, we forget what Krishna has done for us, or the realizations that we had during that time. So we should remember our realizations.
But if we think of suffering all the time, then how can we enjoy in this life? So if you are thinking that yes, it is suffering, suffering like that, then some people say that it is pessimistic, right? It is negative. How we can really enjoy life if we are always thinking about. So when the at least when I have no suffering, should I think that I have suffering and I should not enjoy my life? Or even in the good times I should just think it's suffering, and then like
Mhm.
so
Yeah, I think Prabhupada says, what is that? You should have a pessimistic approach
yeah.
to material life, considering the distresses of birth, death, old age, and disease. And that is the impetus for making advancement in spiritual life. So, yeah, even in the good situations, which is also illusion only, the bad situation, good situations, both are illusions. Dvaita Bhadra Bhadragane Manodharme Bhalai Manda Aisha Bhram. It's like different dreams that we are having. Oh, I'm in a good situation, I'm in a bad situation. So we have to rise above that, and that happens with with doing proper sadhana, attentive sadhana. Krishna will show us that tolerate the happy times and difficult times. Matra sparshastu kante, because it's all temporary. It's going to pass. This whole material world is temporary. It doesn't have a reality. Only thing that is real is Krishna. Hare Naam eva kevalam.
Yeah. So the goal of life is to become happy, right? We want to become happy. So you
Mhm.
have your way of becoming happy by chanting. You like chanting. I have my way of becoming happy. Um, so everybody has their way of becoming happy, and as long as we don't, step on each other's toes, so that then it's okay, right? If I'm uh, going enjoying, there are so many places to enjoy. Like we have in Orlando, we have Disney World and so many things, like so many attractive things. We can go to Switzerland and go in that ride and whatever is there in Switzerland. I don't know, but there's so many beautiful things in this world to look at, nice sceneries and so many nice foods to eat. And so if I'm enjoying life and I'm feeling very happy about it, isn't that the goal, to like feel happy and become enjoy?
Yes, we want to be happily ever after. Everybody is looking for eternal happiness. But what is available in this material world is only temporary happiness, and that too comes along with distress. So, as you said, there are very nice, beautiful places to see in this material world. We have seen that how Los Angeles fire, it was a very nice place. It was a paradise, and in one moment, it was converted into a ghost town. So is like Hawaii and Switzerland, whatever. It seems it's very nice, but in a moment, everything can change. So we cannot rely on those. These are not permanent, places to enjoy. And then also for us to enjoy, we have to do a lot of hard work. Nothing comes free in this material world. We work for 5 days a week, and then we get 2 days off on the weekend, and we try to enjoy. But again, we have to work so hard. So we don't like to work hard. Spirit soul doesn't like to work hard. It wants to enjoy all the time. So that our desire to enjoy all the time cannot be met in this material world. And how much you will enjoy, the body has limits. How much you can eat, there's limits put on everything. But so our heart is never satisfied by this temporary enjoyment. So if you really want eternal happiness, then that's available only as a pure devotee, where you're serving Krishna. Savai pum samparo dharma yatho bhakti radokshite ahetuki pratihata. By unconditionally serving Krishna and serving him all the time, that's where you will get satisfaction of the heart and happiness. And also, once we go back home, back to Godhead, we eternally live with Krishna. That's the place that we want to go to as for permanent vacation.
But some people say that my work is enjoyable. I like to work. It's not like a struggle. I enjoy my work, and if I didn't have any work, then I would be completely bored. And so I like my work, and like Thomas Edison said, I never worked a day in my life. It was all fun. So some people think that yeah, their work is very enjoyable, and you know they're
Mhm.
feeling very happy
Yeah,
about it.
yeah, just like the pig thinks that eating stool is enjoyable because they have not tasted the higher taste, right? It will not eat halwa. Based on its consciousness, it will like to eat stool. So we would say that if you have to experience something better, you have to go through that process properly and experience that there is a higher taste, and that the joy that you feel, it can only be done through experiment. We cannot tell somebody that, oh, this rasgulla is so sweet, it's so delicious. Telling others would not have any much effect unless they taste it themselves.
But I've been chanting, but it's not so enjoyable. This chanting is not as enjoyable as watching a cricket match, or going on a vacation on a cruise. That is more enjoyable to me than this chanting. I'm doing it because, okay, if there is God, then maybe that's. But I'm feeling so much enjoyment in other things. I'm not. You are saying there is a lot of enjoyment in this, but I feel when I with my family, I go out on a vacation with my friends, and we all enjoy, have a picnic, nice picnic. It's very, very nice. I'm getting so much enjoyment. But this chanting is not giving me any enjoyment. So why should I
Yeah.
make myself do something that will make me suffer? I
Mhm.
should do
Anjana
something.
Mataji, you want to say something?
Yeah, I just want to say that, when people go on vacation, they generally are all, most of them at least, they say, oh, I can't wait to get back home. I just want to be home. I am just tired with this. I mean, they all are looking forward to come back home. That I have heard and I have experienced that myself. And same thing about eating out. When we go eat out, I mean, we forget that our last experience was that after eating out, we were not feeling great. We were tired, just we needed to go to sleep, or I mean, it made us sleepy and all that. But we forget these experiences, that how we actually felt. We again go. We keep making the mistake again and again. We just forget that it was not that great to eat out, or all these things, they don't bring any kind of permanent enjoyment. They just are so temporary, that if we start thinking about it, it's really very, very temporary. Even when we are, when, I mean, when we are there, I mean, we say that yes, we enjoy it, but when we think about it, that, oh my God, I want to just go back home. I want to sleep in my
Mm-hmm.
own bed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so no situation is perfect in this material world. Even if you go to vacation, there's so many negative experiences, bad experiences. Like some couple went after marriage to their honeymoon, and on that honeymoon they had a big conflict that when they returned, they tried to do a divorce with each other, right? So there's so many conflicts that can happen with people, and so many negative things, people getting attacked and robbed, and so is we are part of this material world. So no situation is perfect in this material world, comes along with its own distress.
Yeah, sometimes people say the vacation was too short because it was so enjoyable, but it was too short. So
Mm,
they wanted like a longer vacation. So it was too short. That's what I've also heard
mm,
people say. That was too short.
mhm,
So
mhm. They
That
want a
is very,
eternal vacation. Nobody wants to come back and do the hard work, like at their homes or go to work. Nobody likes that.
yeah. But we are just so conditioned. We just, don't realize. We just say things. I mean, it's kind of, it has become social status also, that we have to do things, certain things, to just, kind of, to show off and all that.
Mhm.
So, and we don't even realize that. I mean, we are so conditioned. We are just doing it as a conditioned soul. not
Mm.
realizing what really exactly we want, what makes us
Mm.
happy.
Mm.
We are doing it as a just to, to become a part of the society.
Correct. Many people they post their Facebook photos of their vacation. I mean, that's their main thing to show to the world that see, I'm so much enjoying. Although maybe they're spending so much money, and the real thing they don't show. That show the that they are enjoying very much.
Yeah, you are saying that some couples fought on the, but there are many couples who are enjoying and they are having a very nice relationship. And so, yeah, it can be this way, that way, obviously. But
Yeah, but that even a good relationship is bad in the sense that if you become attached to a person, like we were discussing, then you will not be able to go back. You come back again and somehow be related to that person. You get another material body, and furthermore, distressful situations based on the body. So it's also not good to have very good, material relationship unless Krishna is in the center. Unless that relationship is spiritual, it will, like we said, it will frustrate you.
I think, Prabhu, all answer to all of our questions should be that first we need to understand we are not this body. We are temporary in this body, and we are eternal living being, and we are just passing through. We need to understand that first. Then actually we can, I think, all the questions were imposing can be understood.
yeah, but don't you want to make your journey comfortable? Like, even if you're passing through, like, don't we try to, if you have money, we try to fly business class, right? So that we want
Hmm?
to make, although we are passing through in the plane, but we try to
But I
make.
don't want to waste my energy time in that making comfortable. That is true. I mean, if I'm going to say India, I would like to have nice air ticket, and I don't want any layover, and I want one flight so that I can go comfortably. But at the same time, I don't want to spend all the money in that. I have limited money. I may have $5,000, $2,000. I don't want to take loan, and I don't want to spend $20,000 just to book the ticket. What will I eat after coming back? So point is actually we should need to use the time, resources, everything intelligently, so that we can make a little bit comfortably life here, but also think about eternal.
Thank you. Okay, you can carry on. So I just
Can
One
I
other
ask
thing
also
I
about
just
it?
want to mention. Sorry.
Yes, Mataji.
Well, one other thing I just wanted to mention. Sometimes people don't realize that they are kind of looking for their own sense pleasures. But if they take this kind of a, if they, you know, start working on some kind of mission where they are helping others, and that joy is much greater than just, you know, enjoying these small pleasures like going on vacation or this. If they help someone who needs help, that pleasure is so much bigger. I mean, if we are looking for just this worldly pleasure, still that pleasure is much higher than these pleasures that last longer, much longer than, these that just enjoying for our own sake. So there are all different kind of enjoyments, and
yeah, many
it's
people say like that, that Manav Seva is Madhav Seva. If you serve Manav, like you help others, that is Madhav Seva. That's what you're saying, right?
yeah,
That when you
yeah, exactly, yeah.
serve,
So
yeah.
there are enjoy all different kind of enjoyments, and people are just sometimes not even aware of, how they can really enjoy life doing something better. So
Mhm. But also, we should understand what is real help, right? That we can do for another jiva is by connecting them to Krishna. So, really giving them Krishna consciousness, telling them to chant the holy name, encouraging them in devotional life is the real help, because that
I
will solve all their problems, whatever they are
yes,
suffering. Yes.
yes, there is no doubt. I mean, I don't want to. I'm not yet ready to share my own life's experience, but that's where, I am so convinced that once I, if we have that faith that no matter whatever is happening in our lives, but Krishna is always there, Bhagwan is always there. It is all our karmas that if we are going through any sufferings because of our own karma, Bhagwan is there. Bhagwan is very compassionate and kind. If we have that kind of unflinching faith, then we can go through anything. We it is nothing will break us. Nothing will break us if we have that unflinching faith in Krishna. Nothing will break us. That much I can say with, with with conviction.
Thank you, Mataji. Anybody else wanted to say something? Okay, well, Prabhu,
So,
it's it.
yeah,
Yeah.
the Prem Sindhu Prabhu, I think you asked that question. How do we understand that we are getting Krishna's love, something like that? And then Mataji, you explain the with the example of a wife get a nose ring from the husband. She want to show off, but the nose itself where she put the ring is not given by the husband, but it is given by the Lord Krishna. So this is definitely a feeling of gratitude. So I was thinking about gratitude and love, right? For example, say Prema Sindhu Prabhu uh, helped me by giving some money at one instance, and it helped me. But now in my mind, now there is a gratitude, and usually what we do, we also try to repay it. I mean, so that in some other instance, if Prema Sindhu Prabhu need money or some help, I try to help. So in that way, we try to repay. Now this is more like a gratitude. And then what is love is, it is probably the next step beyond gratitude, right? Because then I always try to help this Prema Sindhu Prabhu, regardless whether he helped me or not. So when there is an acknowledgement, yes, nose is given by Krishna, that is one level of, yes, at least to start with, there is an acknowledgement. This is not by my husband. This is something supreme divine is offering this to me. But the next level is like, how can I serve him without even thinking whether he is giving me anything further, right? So that's what I was thinking. So is that understanding correct?
Yeah, that's right. Unconditionally loving Krishna. Like that's the last verse of Shikshashtakam Ashlishyava Padratam Panishtumam. Whether you embrace me or you crush me under your feet, you will always stay my most worshipful Lord unconditionally. Yeah, so in the beginning, our faith becomes strong by Krishna's reciprocation. Like when we come first to Krishna consciousness, right? We feel our anxiety, our distress goes away, and we feel reciprocation from Krishna more, so that Krishna increases our faith in Him. And then, as we progress on the path of devotional life, yes, we might feel some, we might face challenges and obstacles, and that is and Krishna may not come to help us in that situation, because it is a test from Krishna also, whether we continue to maintain our faith in those situations or not. That's what we were saying, that when troubles come in our life, that's where we have to practice what we have been learning all this time in normal situations. So Pandavas also went through so much difficulties, but they saw the hand of Krishna in that situation also. Although Krishna may not be personally present, but they saw the hand of Krishna, and they never lost faith in him, because they were, pure devotees. So yeah, those tests will come, that Krishna wants to see if we still have faith in him, or we still continue to serve him, even though we are not receiving any reciprocation from him.
Hey Krishna Mataji. Um, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I want to go back on the where you said that how when Prabhupada asked that how we can understand Krishna's love in our life, experience that, and you're talking about the human body. Um, in Bhagavatam also it is glorified the human body. It's very rare to get it. But what if someone thinks like that we are passing by different 8.3 million species, and we get the human body when we get a chance to have the human body. And even in the human body also, we maybe 4 lakhs a birth we get as a human body in different conditions, in different circumstances. Then how can we think like that this human body is a reciprocation or love from Krishna? Maybe we can think like that this is just going through, like, now this turn is having a human body. So how can we be grateful for having the human body?
Yeah, so that's why we said that human body is rare, but more rare is getting the association with devotees. Any person who's thinking like this certainly has had some spiritual knowledge or has come across devotees by which he's starting to think, oh, I have a human body and that is different from an animal body. So I should not be thinking about eating, sleeping, mating, and defending only. I have a higher purpose. All of this, that thinking of the understanding that I have a human body versus taking it for granted has come about by some spiritual knowledge. That so that spiritual knowledge is very rare, and understanding what we have gotten as a human body is very rare. So that comes
So
about by Krishna's mercy. Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, I get it. So you're saying that this is if that mean billions people are living on the earth. So that how many people get the association of the devotees? So you say, I mean, how can I understand that the only person who got the association, then that person is receiving the Krishna's mercy, and those who have not the association, they are not getting the Krishna's mercy. But at the same time, we say that Krishna is equal to everybody.
Yeah, Krishna gives opportunity in everybody's life, but it's their free will whether they accept it or not. So Krishna's mercy is there on everybody, even atheists, as we were discussing, have Krishna's mercy. So yeah, we say that human body is Krishna's mercy, because after many lifetimes, ultimately we have come here to this human body. Anybody else would like to add? Prem Sindhu Prabhu, you would like to add to this question?
I would like to say something.
Yeah.
So, Prabhuji, can I go ahead?
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you. So, I wanted to say that I agree with what you said earlier, Radhika Mataji, that if somebody is like connected with us and because of their karma, even if we were not involved, we still have to take the rebirth to finish the pending reciprocation that we should have done at that point of time. It could be anything, so any kind of desire. So, that was like, I think it is true.
Hmm. Thank you. Prabhuji, you want to say something?
No, I was just like hearing all the answers all devotees were giving. So,
No, but I think Preeti asked a question that, I mean, those who have gotten human body are the ones that have Krishna's mercy. I mean, we say that it's rare, but I mean, we get it automatically, but we can lose the opportunity also. So even once getting a human body, we can't, mostly bahunam janmanam ante jnanavanma. It takes many births. But if we don't progress or do any bhakti in this one lifetime, we can fall down in an animal body again. And then again, we 8.4 million species.
yeah, so yeah, the facility is given, but whether you will use the facility or not, that's up to us, right? So Krishna is kind to give us the facility. That's what that verse is saying, right? If you get all the facility, nideham adyam sulabham sudurlabham,
Mm.
automatically you get the human form of life by your transmigration as you go through different. Of course, by everything happens by Krishna's will only, in one sense,
Mm.
but automatically you go from lower species, you come to the higher species, and then you come to the human form. So again, Krishna is giving you an opportunity. So now, if you avail of that opportunity or not, like we say, sun is shining, but if I don't open the window, I may not get sunlight. So that is our endeavor. Our part is also there. It's not only Krishna's mercy. Krishna's mercy is there, but we are not accepting the Krishna's mercy. So that is also, we can say, everything is given. I mean, ready made, right? So
Mm.
sometimes people say, well, somebody is born in some Iceland, right? He has never met the devotees. Or somebody is born in some jungles of Africa, some tribes are living, they have never met the devotees. So how can we say that they got Krishna's mercy? Krishna is not giving them mercy, right? Because they never came in contact with devotees. Krishna never sent devotees in that area. Some people are there, like in where in Andaman and Nicobar Islands, there are some very
Mm.
some tribes that live for they've been
Mm.
living there for generations, and they've never come in, maybe never came in contact
Yeah,
with
and
devotees.
Krishna gives birth according to our desires. So, if our desires is animalistic, then Krishna will give us an animal birth. And if our desires is to be attached to somebody or some place, then he will get birth in that place. So, according like for a devotee, they get birth in a devotee family because that's their desire. Next birth.
To that, somebody may say, well, that a father will never allow his child to go astray, right? If he loves the child, then will the father allow the child to be in dangerous situation?
Yeah.
Because if the
But
father
some
loves the
children are very stubborn and they don't hear the father. Numerous times he tells them. So sometimes they have to go through some experience of getting themselves into trouble, not following the instructions of the father. And then they learn by experience, or they don't learn even after experiencing multiple times.
but let's say if there is a child who is crying and says, I want that poison is there, some poisonous thing is there. I want that cyanide tablet, cyanide or whatever. I want that. Will the father say, even if he's crying so much, but will the father ever give him that poison?
Yeah, but I mean, we are never eternally doomed, and this life is temporary. So, considering 80, 90 years is very short period. In that short period, if somebody goes through a very difficult situation, it is insignificant compared to the eternal life that somebody had, right? But in that one lifetime, going through that difficult situation, if somebody realizes and develops his relationship with Krishna, becomes a pure devotee because his life was horrible, or or that if somebody suffers also, their bad karma is getting destroyed, and as the bad karma is getting destroyed, then they're becoming more open to spirituality, and in distress they will approach Krishna, like there is no atheist in the foxhole, right? So by distress also Krishna is trying to pull us towards him, like that example of the boy who arranges for gundas to come to tease the girl, and ultimately the girl cries out for help. Because ultimately everybody realizes there is nobody who can help me other than God. Even the doctors say, you can only pray for many things, right? For the so many diseases they are not able to treat. Ultimately, they say you can pray.
Okay, so we can go on. I just ask questions.
It's 8:43, so maybe we can do one verse of Bhagavatam and we'll continue. Three more lessons to go. Tomorrow.
Okay, so let me share my screen. So Jada Bharat instructs King Rahuguna. So then he says, anything else? Janish is welcome. Janish has come back from India. So he's going to give us his association now.
I'm getting yours, but not sure how much I can give. But nice to hear everyone's voice and their
This
realization
is
and
a nice
reflections.
time in
So,
India.
yeah.
You would like to tell about your India trip? What else? How you felt so happy on the trip?
Well, I can't say entirely happy, but it was, I think, overall a nice trip. I did make some notes as well while I was, going through different places. Tried to at least continue my 16 rounds per day.
You went to Vrindavan also, right?
Yes, we went to Vrindavan, and then also we did Nathdwara one day trip. And then I can. So this is something I heard. It's not by any ISKCON duty, but I think Premanand Maharaj. We I happened to get his darshan as well,
Oh, you
but
went to meet him? You went to
I
meet him?
didn't went to meet him. That's a whole different story. Getting meeting and all that. It's pretty organized, but you have to, just to get a glimpse of him. He goes on parikrama every morning in the dam. So it starts at 1:30 and goes on until 3 p.m. 3 a.m. Sorry. So people are lined up across the roads, and his followers basically try to manage everything so there's no chaos and people get darshan. And then there are different what do you call it, different programs during the day, like where you can get personal interaction with him if you have any questions. And then there's kirtan, and then satsang. So all of them, is on token basis. You have to line up a day before to go for the next day.
Mhm.
Yeah. But yeah, one thing was that I heard, him say is that, you know if you ignore guru's instruction and you're listening to your mind, basically you're in maya.
Mhm.
Yeah, very relevant, and something that we should always, try to remember. um, One other my personal realization was, in Vrindavan, it's not like any other city. You'll see a lot of dirt and trash all around. So my personal reflection was, as long as I'm seeing all this, it's basically showing how much that the filth that's still in my heart, and there is a lot of work to be done to clean that up.
Mhm. So you are saying we should not see the filth. If it is there, we should not see it.
Means Yeah, so in our classes we have talked about and also heard that
Mhm.
when you go to Dham, you have to have that different eyes to see the Leela pastimes. I'm nowhere close to that,
Mhm.
but with my material eyes, what I was seeing around, I was not complaining or anything, but even though other people with me were complaining a little bit here and there, but my personal reflection was, all what we are seeing is what's within us. So
Mhm.
what else? Let me see if I can find my notes here. Um, this may be related or not, but we should try to be the ear that one wants, but not the mouth that no one wants to hear. Uh,
Should try to be the.
ear, ear that one wants,
Mhm.
but not the mouth that no one wants to hear. Um Try not to be the reason of someone's stress, but be the support that they need in time of stressful situations. Um, by pressing Krishna's feet is like giving him relief from fatigue. Hence, a devotee should aspire being a speck of dust at his lotus feet. Similarly, by pressing feet of your elders or your guru, you attain their kind mercy. Uh, mm, some next is something personal, so I'll skip that. Uh, this you might have heard before, but yeah, even Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj says, but I could remember and I just noted down while I was chanting. People around you are part and parcel of Krishna, so please treat them with utmost care and respect and love. They are around you to straighten you up, basically, if they're giving you pain.
Mhm.
Um, make an effort to serve Krishna. Try to take some pain for him, and he will fill in the rest.
Mhm.
Um, take opportunity for detachment as a booster in Krishna consciousness. Remain in constant touch with Krishna, just like your parents expect you to be with them. Krishna is protecting you from all the bad associations, so please do not take advantage of his mercy by not doing your part. Um, Another one is don't be like a crow who likes to wander around alone and feast on garbage, but be like the chatak bird who is able to drink milk after separating it from water. Um,
That's a
that,
swan. Patak bird is different.
oh, so on. So, but yeah, that's what I could remember. I'll correct.
Mhm.
But something while I was chanting that came in my mind. Let me correct that because I'll forget it. Um, Next, expect to Krishna to give you strength to see each person with humility as they are part and parcel of Him. This is a prayer that we should do while chanting.
What is it?
Pray to Krishna.
I missed that.
Say again.
What is the
Sorry.
last thing you said?
Yeah. Let me close the door. I think there is noise. Kids are crying downstairs. Um, yeah. This last one was what I said was beg to Krishna to give you strength to see each person with humility as they are part and parcel of Him. Um, Pray to Krishna to give you strength to be gentle and polite to you, to your near and dear ones, and treat them with all respect, love, and kind words. Uh, yeah, this one is what I mentioned earlier. The dirt you see in the dham reflects the dirt that is within your heart. Once the dirt within your heart is cleared, you will no longer see the dirt in the dham and see the actual spiritual realm. Um, on 114, it's becoming someone in life may be difficult, but become no one is even more difficult.
But if you don't see the dirt in the dham, then you'll not try to clean it up, right?
If
Then,
you
then is it good to keep the dham dirty?
I think this was more in terms of our internal, anarthas. But yeah, we should try to avoid, making it more dirty at least, and whatever you can do to clean up.
Because if
Even if,
everybody sees it like that, that the dham is not dirty, then nobody will
yeah,
make
yeah,
any effort
you
to
just have
clean
to
it,
be
right?
rational
So,
bit, yeah. But yeah, yeah, definitely, we should try to, do our part and just whatever, even if it's minimal, we should try to clean or at least something that's around us, try to keep it clean. Um, what else? One who ignores Guru's instruction and listens to his mind is in Maya. I think I mentioned that earlier. On 115, try to take a humble position with people and family in confronting situations. Another one is just simple, like be forgiving. Uh, if close ones are giving you pain, try not to fight back as it's for your own purification. Um, Pray for on 116. Pray for others who are in pain and suffering, as those prayers are potent. With blessings of your elders, your parents, and gurus, all good tasks will be successful. Take the extra step to give additional care to your elders, parents, just like how would you do to Krishna and your guru. Uh, Keep praying to Sri Radha Krishna to forgive you for the offenses that you have committed or are committing. And last one is keep praying to Sri Radha Krishna to help you chant their holy names at all times.
thank you. So, Preeti is saying we can vision like this. We can vision like this is Krishna and Radha's home, so we should keep it clean and nice.
Yeah.
So this is that Vrindavan Dham. And of course, everything belongs to Krishna. So it is, especially the Dham where he conducted his pastimes. So, okay, but everything belongs to Krishna. And our home is also Krishna and Radha's home. So we should keep it clean and nice, right? That's okay. Cleanliness is godliness, like Prabhupada said. Like that. So, Sometimes Bhakti Tirth Maharaj says that, if I want to know somebody's consciousness, I'll go to their bathroom and see how clean it is. So,
Yeah, but those who become like, so we visited Varsana Swami Maharaj in New Vrindavan with the Maryland group in his little kutia that he lives outside the temple, and we spent time cleaning Maharaj's room because he doesn't care. He just is so much absorbed in his sadhana that he doesn't even have an indication of where he's living, whether he needs to eat. So the very advanced devotees, for them, they don't see this. They think that they're living in the spiritual world. So, but of course, we are not at that platform. For us, we have to be clean and. But some Babajis, or we saw Rishabh Dev, or elevated personalities, they're living in the dirt and stool, and it doesn't matter to them.
correct. Okay, we can read one verse, and it's 9 o'clock. न तस्य तत्त्वग्रहणाय साक्षात् वरीयासिरपि वाचः समासन् स्वप्ने निरुक्त्या गृहमेधि सौख्यं न यस्य हेयानुमितं स्वयं स्यात्. A dream becomes automatically known to a person as false and immaterial. So dream, how we come to know of a dream, it's false and immaterial. It's a dream, so it's not true. It doesn't matter. And similarly, one eventually realizes that material happiness in this life or the next, on this planet or a higher planet, is insignificant. So, yeah, you are saying that even if somebody has a nice time, the self-realized person thinks that this is insignificant. They are not trying for that. When one realizes this, the Vedas, although an excellent source, are insufficient to bring about direct knowledge of the truth. Sorry, when one realizes the Vedas, although an excellent source, are insufficient to bring about direct knowledge of the truth. So when one realizes that material happiness is like dream, whether on this planet or in higher planets, then the Vedas, of which lot of portion deals with karma kanda, they are insufficient to bring about direct knowledge of the truth. So let's see. In Bhagavad Gita 2:45, Krishna advised Arjuna to become transcendental to material activities, impelled by the three material modes of nature. So all our activities in the conditioned state is impelled by Sattva gun, Rajogun, and Tamogun. And we are doing so many activities with a desire to enjoy. Trey Gunya Vishaya Veda, Nistray Gunyo Bhava Arjuna. The purpose of Vedic study is to transcend the activities of the three modes of material nature. Of course, in the material world, the mode of goodness is accepted as the best, and one can be promoted to higher planetary systems by being on the Sattva Guna platform. Sometimes higher planetary systems is Janalok, Maharlok, like that. Their people are in mode of goodness. However, that is not perfection. One must come to the conclusion that even the Sattva Gun platform is also not good. One may dream that he has become a king with a good family, wife, and children. But immediately at the end of that dream, he comes to the conclusion that it is false. So in your dream, you may think like I'm king, I have a nice wife and children. But at the end of the dream, when you wake up, oh, it was not really true. Similarly, all kinds of material happiness are undesirable for a person who wants spiritual salvation. Somebody who has set their mind, Prabhupada is saying, on going back home, back to Godhead, he doesn't want any kind of material happiness here. They are undesirable. They don't seek because they want to get spiritual happiness. So they have no material desires. They don't seeking any material enjoyment. If a person does not come to the conclusion that he has nothing to do with any kind of material happiness, he cannot come to the platform of understanding the absolute truth or Tattva Gyan. Means unless he comes to the platform of that, yeah, I have nothing to do with this material world and any kind of material happiness, he cannot perfectly reach Krishna. So Anya Bilashita Shunyam, when he comes that I have no other desires for all this material kind of all this happiness, when he comes to all other material desires become zero, then he can come to the platform of understanding the absolute truth. So until one comes to that conclusion, then he cannot come to the platform of understanding the absolute truth or Tattva Gyan. So we may have partial understanding, right? But to understand completely, then we have to come to this conclusion. As Prabhupada is saying that. Till that, you will be in two boats, right? One leg in this boat and one leg in that boat. So, or maybe more leg in one boat and less, but still it is there in the other boat. So Krishna is saying one who gives up all the desires born of mental concoction. How will start? Sarvaparth.
Prajat Yadagaman Savan Pathamanogatam Atmani Vatmanatushta Stita Pragata Duchete.
He says, I'm done, I don't want this happiness, which also in the fifth chapter Krishna says, also that kind of happiness of contact with the senses also gives you misery and struggle. I don't want that, I'm done. Then he can approach the absolute truth fully. We are also approaching, but still we have lingering, things and desires. So until everything is cleared up, and Krishna helps you clear up. So So you come to that conclusion ultimately. Karmis, Jnanis, and Yogis are after some material elevation. The Karmis work hard day and night for some bodily comfort. They want to have a nice house, a nice bed, and everything nice, and they're working very hard and getting more and more money for so one can enjoy more. And the Gyanis simply speculate about how to get out of the entanglement of karma. Gyanis are a little bit higher. They have given up. They think this is temporary, it's not going to give me happiness. I'm not this body. So they get out, they want to get out and go to Brahman and merge into the Brahman effulgence. The yogis are very much addicted to the acquisition of material perfection and magical powers. So they want siddhis by which they can do so many things, and in this way they become famous. All of them are trying to be materially perfect, but a devotee very easily comes to the platform of nirguna in devotional service, means above the modes, and consequently for the devotee the results of karma, jnana, and yoga become very insignificant. So wealth and all this Brahman, going back into the Brahman realization or getting some siddhis, this all becomes insignificant. Therefore, only the devotee is on the platform of Tattva Gyan, not the others. Tattva means truth. Of course, the Jnani's position is better than that of Karmi, but that position is also insufficient. The Jnani must actually become liberated, and after liberation, he may be situated in devotional service. So, that is rising above the modes. The Jnani may be above the modes, and he may come to the platform of Brahma Bhuta, in which there is happiness, Prasannatma. But in devotional service begins at that stage, pure devotional service, when one is free from all material desires and hankerings. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma na sochati na kankshati sama sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhakti labhate param. So this Prabhupada is quoting the last line of that verse. He attains, labhate means he begins, he starts his devotional service, which is pure devotional service, because he has come to the Brahma Bhuta platform and he has no hankering and no lamentation and completely out of the bodily conception of life and free from all material desires. Then at that stage he begins his pure devotional service. Okay, so that's that verse. So we will continue tomorrow with this. Thank you for answering all my questions and helping me understand better.